Assembly Bill 2801 is a new law for 2025. It impacts how landlords handle security deposits. Landlords must now take photos before and after every tenant, and also before and after they do any work, if you want to hold them responsible and make a deduction out of their security deposit. No photos, no security deposit deductions. In addition, landlords may not require any fixed cleaning costs in their rental agreements anymore. Assembly Bill 2801 modifies or codifies into law the Civil Code section 1950.5. That's the most common one landlords know because it has to do with how we handle security deposit refunds. And until now, before and after photos were not required, but having them was still the best practice. Now it's the law. Hi, I'm John Tyner with Tyner Property Management. We manage about 1,200 homes in the greater Sacramento area, and we have had at least 50 or 100 times where we've gone to court over tenant security deposit disputes. And in those, we are successful a great majority of the time, largely because we have before and after photos. So this photo requirement that's in the new law has been best practice for a long time. But now, moving forward, if you don't take the photos, you won't be able to make the security deposit deduction. If you went to court in that case without the photos, the judge would just throw it out and you would lose. So it's real important that you comply. Beginning on April 1st, 2025, that's April Fool's Day, but this is very serious, landlords are going to have before and after work photos in order to make those tenant security deposit deductions. So you'll want to take pictures of anything that was dirty as soon as the tenant vacates. If you have a dirty oven, crumbs in the drawer, damage, writing on the walls before you paint them, and then you take another set of photos after that work is done so that you can demonstrate with photographic record that the work was completed. Additionally, there's another kind of before and after. You also have to take before occupancy photos beginning on July 1 of 2025. So your tenants that are in there now or in the first 6 months of 2025, you don't have to have before occupancy photos. I think you should start taking them right away though. So take pictures before a tenant moves in. For many of us, we've taken pictures for our marketing, and we would consider that the before photos. The problem is, a lot of times if the house didn't change much, I didn't take photos between every vacancy. I only took it when the house looked substantially different. But this new law is going to require us to take before photos before each tenant. And I think the marketing photos work good, but you'll need to add a few photos to them. In other words, you'll want to have pictures of the things that most commonly we see tenants damage. So good pictures of the blinds, pictures of some of the cabinets inside to show that they were clean, inside of your oven, inside your microwave, and of course the yard. You'll want good photos in addition to your marketing photos. Another thing that we see a lot of times is tenants will chip a bathroom sink or a tub, and if you don't have good before photos showing that they weren't chipped in advance of the tenant moving in, it's very difficult to make that deduction stand if they challenge you in court. So because these photos are for documentation, be sure that they're date stamped. Assembly Bill 2801 also has a prohibition against prearranged cleaning charges in your lease agreement. So in other words, some landlords have had provisions in their leases that say that the carpets are going to be cleaned when the tenant vacates and that the landlord's going to pick the carpet company. You can't do that anymore. It's probably been risky a long time if you'd actually been challenged in court, but now the law specifically prohibits prearranged required cleaning charges unless those charges are necessary to restore the property to its pre-rental condition. So you can charge them for it, but you shouldn't put it in your lease that you're going to control the whole way that it gets done and how much you're going to pay for it. So if the tenant cleans it, you have to offer them that opportunity to make the cleaning themselves. If they do it, they can't charge them for it. You can't tell them how it's got to be cleaned. But you can say that it needs to be as clean as they receive the property. So if they don't leave the house with the carpets as clean as you got them, minus maybe normal wear and tear, depending on how long they were there, you could charge them for the carpet cleaning. Sometimes tenants go out and they rent their own carpet cleaner, and all they do is get extra soap in the carpets and they make a mess out of it. If you've got good before photos that show that they were quite clean, they didn't look in that condition at all when the tenant moved out, you would still be able to charge them for the good cleaning and then deduct it from their deposit. So in summary, here's what you need to remember. Start taking date-stamped photos of your properties along with your marketing photos right away. Include pictures of items that are commonly left dirty and or damaged. And number two, Take pictures of everything that you plan to charge the tenant for as soon as they move out. Number 3, take photos again once all the work is completed so that you can demonstrate that you actually did the work. Number 4, provide copies of the photos with your security deposit transmittal or the accounting for the deposit. So you don't make the tenant ask for the photos, you provide the photos right along with the accounting and charges. Number 5, take any automatic cleaning requirements out of your lease. They're no longer allowed. With regard to taking those provisions out of your lease that have to do with cleaning charges in advance, the legal principle behind that is that you can't have a non-refundable security deposit. It's right in the Civil Code. You cannot have a non-refundable deposit. So when you tell a tenant that you're going to be charged for carpet cleaning, it sounds like they have no way to get all their deposit back unless they do it your way. And in reality, under the new law, they absolutely can have it done their way, and as long as it's sufficiently clean, they're entitled to get that deposit refund. There's no such thing in the law as a non-refundable security deposit. I always like to give credit where credit is due with regard to these new regulations and laws. And Senate Bill 2801 was authored and passed exclusively with Democrats. And of course, our Democratic governor signed it into law. I'll put a link to the actual law in the comments below. Little disclosure, I'm not an attorney. Tyner Property Management is not a law firm. If you need help with your specific case or property, be sure to seek out the advice of a legal professional. If you'd like more information about Tyner Property Management, check out our website. It's tyner.com. That's TINER.com. On there we have lots of information for people looking for property management, but we also have lots of blogs and video blogs. So there's a lot for you to check out, a lot of information available for you on our website. Thanks so much for listening today. If you like this, be sure to like and subscribe.